Okay, now we're going to talk about scripting shells. So in this class, we're going to learn about programming, and we're going to do that by using JavaScript to write our programs. And we need a program also to execute the JavaScript. So we have a computer that runs programs, and we can write programs, but those programs we write have to be executed by another program. And a shell is one of those programs that can execute JavaScript. The JavaScript scripting shell is a tool that allows you to type in JavaScript code which is immediately evaluated. So every time you type in any kind of JavaScript code and you press the enter key, it becomes executed immediately, and then it shows the results of that evaluation if that result is not assigned to a variable. And we're going to talk about variables in detail later. So we have a few examples of the JavaScript shell, and let's actually start with this bottom one here, the square free. So if I click on it, I can bring up a window, and it says this is a JavaScript shell, and it's at just some website freely available, and we can type in JavaScript code. Well, luckily JavaScript also takes math expressions, so you already know how to do some programming because you know how to type in math expressions. So let's type in some math expressions. Something like 5 plus 3, and then when we hit the enter, remember it's going to execute it immediately. So I'm going to hit enter, and it's going to evaluate 5 plus 3 and give me 8. Or I could do division, or I could do subtraction. Multiplication uses the asterisk because it doesn't want to use the X because that's a letter. So the asterisk is the multiplication for JavaScript. And so we can write in these math expressions and it will evaluate immediately. So this one example, square free, I mean you can bookmark it and then you can pop over there and type in any expression you want. However, we don't have any control over the squarefree.com website. They could remove the page, they could change the page, we don't have any control over it. So there's a lot of great resources on the web, but we can't always rely on them. I want to show you one more JavaScript scripting shell, and that's in your Chrome browser. So if you open up Chrome, and just from any web page, here's my Google home page, but it can be from anywhere, I can right click, or on the Mac I can press the menu button, and then I can get to this inspect. You could also use Control-Shift-I, or on the Mac I believe it's Command-Shift-I. Once we click on that, it brings up a lot of things. And it's split the screen. And so we still have our Google web page here. And this is information about the web page. And this is the HTML. And we actually want to go to the console so we can do some JavaScript. So now we can type in our math expressions, just like all the other scripting locations. Okay, and so we will be using these scripting shells to help us understand how JavaScript works, and it will be very useful as we get into learning about types and variables and conversions.